All right, just trying to keep things a little bit different. These display videos, I like to think that you have an opportunity to go to a museum and get a personal tour from the person who put the collection together in a museum. That doesn't always happen though. Or they're bound in a case. Some of these artifacts, you'll see them all tied up in metal clips and what have you, but here's the freedom. You can see them in a human hand. You can get an understanding of the perspective and the collection a little bit better, I hope. Just a vision. This is an awesome, well-worked piece, every single part of it. Part 2 here. Heavy caliber quartz. Heavy caliber. This piece was found at Sun Hill and Site 5E. I'd say maybe about 2 years ago. It's a great piece. Just a great piece. Look at this. Big stuff. Here's a point that I found, I think, really closely when I first started collecting. Found it Notchville 3. Marl Mountain variety. But still, quartz is so strong. And it has a good weight, so I would have liked to seen this stuff in commission, how they actually used it. I think any of us would. Big stuff. Here's another piece I found at Sun Hill, come to think of it. Big piece of Marl Mountain. This piece was found at Sun Hill right here. So, Christmas time for everybody. I hate to ever ask somebody if they're ready. I mean, when Christmas comes, when the day comes, I'll be ready for it. I am not right now. And it has nothing to do with shopping. It just has everything to do with the matter of heart. I try to live day by day. I mean, seriously. The future's untold. The past is dead. And I literally have a mentality, a spirit, if you will, where today is the day. Where I have to make my best efforts with people and what have you. Might be a crazy way for some people to live. I just don't worry about tomorrow. And I don't worry about yesterday. This is a great piece. If you could just feel this piece, hopefully seeing it in the hand and up close, you're able to get a perspective of what kind of workmanship and the purpose that they made these. How they needed food. I have been able to, and been blessed enough to read quite a bit. It all circles back to a common scarlet thread, which was their dire need for survival, for food, for sustenance. Because if you were an archaic man back there, because it's mostly guys who are watching these, there's a lot of ladies out there, so it doesn't matter, but if you were, you just kept right on having babies if you could. And they'd have one baby a year. They wouldn't think about it. They just have their mates or their mate, and they just live a healthy life. And based on their needs, not just eating, but sexual needs, they just go ahead with it. And they produce a baby about every year. And still indigenous peoples do the same thing. Look at this piece. Was able to pick this piece up at a place that I've been waiting for it to come open. Highlands of Site 1. One of those sites that's not open a whole lot. They've been throwing a couple different crops through it, but I guess I can be thankful it's open enough. It's a great point, though. It does have strawberry quartz bands through it. So, I think that's awesome when you think about the needs of the archaic Indian. Last piece here. This won't be as long, this video. Probably one of the newest pieces I found. And I found this at a site I call Woodland. Because I find a lot of woodland Indian pieces, and this might not be a woodland Indian piece at all. It might be. I'm not positive. I'm not sure. I don't try to push a whole bunch of points into different categories. And it could be much older. It could be an archaic piece, solid, early archaic. It is Marl Mountain, but it's another one of many sites that produces quite a bit of pottery. And that's why the site has merited the name Woodland. But these points were designed to meet their needs. I think that's one of the things that impresses me most about these artifacts. It's because you get to get close to what their real need was. I mean food. The reason I mention them having babies and things is because more mouths to feed. And if you were a good hunter, really good hunter, you probably had more than one mate. They did that, especially going into the woodland period or the archaic period. We know it's true from the historic period Indians, but needless to say, it didn't slow anything down. It produced mouths to feed. And we're out here collecting these artifacts because they had mouths to feed. Simple as that. Just the circle of life, you know. So I hope this Christmas season, all the stuff I was talking about, I hope you have a bunch of it. Hope your kids are healthy. Hope your families are happy. And I know now, I've got some little guys watching, some kids. I've heard the shout outs. Look at these pieces of quartz. If you don't find quartz, you'll like to see this. Big, devastating quartz pieces. I don't really find them at all often. But I do know they make them here now, so I keep my eyes open. So from Indian Trace to all you guys out there, those 5 on this video. Merry Christmas, and I hope you find